now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today on Musicals Month, we're going to be taking a look at the Dolly Parton classic, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton, Dom DeLuise, Charles Durning, Teresa Merritt, and Jim Neighbors. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're going to keep on going through Musical Month here on the channel, and today we're going to take a look at a Dolly Parton classic called The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And as our movie opens, we learn that Ed Earl Dodd, who is the sheriff of Gilbert, Texas, has a long-standing relationship with Miss Mona Stanley, who runs a brothel called the Chicken Ranch, just outside of town. Now, illegal or not, Ed Earl does not interfere with her business, which has been a fixture of the town going all the way back to World War I. Although occasionally interrupted by Deputy Fred Wilkins, our narrator, Ed Earl and Miss Mona have a pleasant arrangement as secret lovers. Almost everyone in town approves of Miss Mona, who is a public-minded citizen who regularly donates to charities and is a decent and law-abiding citizen except within her line of work. When Mayor Rufus P. Poindexter and insurance salesman C.J. Vernon inform Ed Earl that consumer advocate and television personality Melvin P. Thorpe, who is originally from New Jersey, has announced his intention to do an expose about the chicken ranch, Ed Earl goes to visit Thorpe in his Houston studio. Now, Ed Earl is shocked by Thorpe's live telecast, during which Thorpe sensationalizingly reveals to a huge audience that Texas has a whorehouse in it. Ed Earl later compounds the problem by threatening and insulting Thorpe in the town square after Thorpe comes to town and accusing him of taking payoffs and bribes due to his not cracking down on Miss Mona's business, which is all caught on television. Now, the Chicken Ranch is an institution, one where the winning team of the football game between state rivals, the Texas A&M Aggies and the University of Texas Longhorns, traditionally come to celebrate its victory. However, Thorpe's negative publicity puts a spotlight on the place, so Ed Earl asks Miss Mona to shutter the property just until the TV attention subsides in a couple of months. Miss Mona agrees and closes the bordello to her regular customers, but she elects to allow the football players to hold their traditional victory party. During the party, Thorpe and his cameras infiltrate the property, break into the house, and catch the Aggies as well as a state senator in mid-debauch. Ed Earl and Miss Mona quarrel, which is punctuated by him calling her a whore, followed by a bitter breakup. Now, the governor of Texas, who cannot decide on any issue until he first sees what voters say in an opinion poll, listens to Ed Earl's eloquent appeal to keep the chicken ranch open. However, when the polls showed that a bare minimum of Texans disapprove of the place, he orders Ed Earl to close it down. The working girls sadly leave the chicken ranch immediately and permanently. Miss Mona is disconsolate, at least until she learns what Ed Earl tried to do for her in an attempt to keep it open. As Miss Mona is departing the whorehouse for the very last time, Ed Earl stops her and proposes to her. Miss Mona turns him down as she knows that having a wife whom had ran a whorehouse would hurt his chances of running for the state legislature. Ed Earl insists that he wants to marry her, regardless of what people will think or say. In order to drive his point home, he picks up Miss Mona like a bridegroom, installs her into the passenger seat of his pickup, and drives away. In an epilogue, Deputy Fred, who succeeded Ed Earl as the sheriff, states that Ed Earl and Miss Mona did in fact get married and that Ed Earl successfully ran for the legislature, becoming a state senator as our movie comes to its end. It had been a long time since I saw this film. As a matter of fact, I think I jokingly told my girlfriend the other night when I watched it that the last time I saw this film, I was too young to see this film, if that makes any sense. Like, grown-ups were watching it, I just happened to be there watching it with them, but I definitely wasn't old enough to be watching a movie about a whorehouse. So, it had been a very long time. probably at least 35 years. You figure I'm 46 now. So maybe when I was 10, 11, I saw this. I had forgotten that I Will Always Love You is in this movie. I had forgotten that Hard Candy Christmas is in this movie. Both Dolly Parton songs that I love and adore. Hard Candy Christmas is on my Christmas playlist every year. And I Will Always Love You, despite the fact that Whitney Houston just killed that track when she sang on it. In a good way, not a bad way. Dolly's simple rendition is just so sweet and pretty. This was Dolly Parton in her prime. She's in her early to mid 30s during this movie. She looks amazing. The girls are on full display throughout the entire film. Burt Reynolds is an amazing counterpart to Miss Mona in this as Ed Earl. I had forgotten Jim Nabors was in this, Gomer Pyle from the Andy Griffith Show. Dom DeLuise was amazing as Melvin P. Thorpe. He was so good, so smarmy, so conniving. Charles Durning, who I know best as Doc Hopper from the Muppet movie, was in this. I had no idea he was in it. So that was a nice little surprise to me when I saw that pop up. The cast was amazing. The songs were good. The storytelling, despite the fact of what people may think about this being a trash movie because it's literally called The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, that automatically kind of makes you think it's almost the softcore porn type of movie. It's not like that at all. You see just a couple flashes of brief nudity. It's not like it's a whole sexcapade. But at its core, it's a simple love story that just happens to be surrounded by this whorehouse. The story of Ed Earl and Miss Mona is the central focus of the entire movie. And it's so good, so sweet. You know, I highly recommend that people that have never seen this movie give it a try, give it a look. I think you'll definitely be surprised and you'll enjoy this if you've never seen it before. If you have seen it before, let me know what you guys think about it. For me, when it comes to this film, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars because I do feel there's a couple spots where the movie kind of drags a little bit. There's a couple songs that I don't feel that are as good as some of the other ones. Aside from the two I named, honestly, the songs aren't that memorable in the long run. So that's the other reason why I'm really bringing it down a little bit. It's the pacing in some of the songs. But everything else, the story, the acting, everything else is top notch in this, in my personal opinion. It really could have been super campy with somebody like Dolly Parton in this movie, especially at the time when she was in this movie. I want to say it was one of her first acting roles, but it wasn't super campy at all. It was perfect in the characters and the story. It just lacked in some of the pacing and songs. What did you guys think? Those of you that have seen The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in later this evening, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, as we're going to be providing live watch-along coverage for AEW Dynamite. Now, Renegade, it's just an episode of Dynamite. It's not a special. It's not Battle of the Belts or anything. Why are you covering this? Because myself and Jeff Meacham are going to be there live this evening. So, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the Heeb Man James Hebert will be on commentary, calling the action, watching along live as we are there live. It's a special presentation because it gives the illusion that all four of us are seeing this show live as it happens. Myself and Jeff being in the building, Noah and James calling the action. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jeff and I are going to be calling in and checking in throughout the broadcast, giving our thoughts on things as it happens. So you don't want to miss out. That broadcast goes live at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern Time. That way myself and Jeff can join the broadcast for a few moments before the show officially kicks off. You're not going to want to miss out on this special presentation. And then on Friday, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And this time we're going to be discussing A Star is Born, starring Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott, Rafi Gavron, Andrew Dice Clay, Anthony Ramos, Dave Chappelle, and Greg Grunberg. And then after that, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, we're going to present to you another watch along as Impact Wrestling presents Hard to Kill with your main event of Josh Alexander versus Bully Ray. Once again, the Simple Man Noah Foster and James Hebert will be on the call for that one. And immediately following Hard to Kill, we're going to kick over to AEW, click our DVRs, roll Rampage, and Noah Foster, James Hebert, myself, and Jeff Meacham will all provide watch-along commentary for Rampage, which is going to be filmed the same night that we are there for AEW Dynamite at the Forum. So myself and Jeff Meacham will have already seen the action, but we'll get to see Noah and James's live reactions as the stuff happens and be able to provide firsthand commentary on what went down within the arena as the matches happened. We respectfully request that any viewers that tune in for the Hard to Kill watch along refrain from posting spoilers in the chat room about what is happening at Rampage as it airs, because the broadcast of Rampage is going to conflict with the final hour of Hard to Kill. So we respectfully request that our viewers do not post spoilers. That way nothing is given away to Noah and James, who will not have seen anything yet. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of that coverage right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. We've got Dynamite Watch Along. We've got A Star is Born. We've got Hard to Kill Watch Along. We've got Rampage Watch Along. All just coming in the next couple of days. So much good stuff here on this channel and all the channels associated with the multiverse of media. You don't want to miss out on any of it. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, Pay-Per-View PLE watch-along coverage, and so much more. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Dolly Parton, fans of Burt Reynolds, fans of Jim Neighbors, fans of Dom DeLuise, fans of Charles Durning, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and make some money on this show. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.